Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a painting video. In this video I'll take a model and I'll paint it up. So you'll see some sneaky things going on in this video. Some very handy tips and useful things that you can do. So for all my regulars here guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so from last week in the Monday voting for Monday painting video, also for the voting for Monday's painting video last week, this is one of the models that was in there. It's a Catacomb Annihilation Barge. Okay, now this particular kit, you can make the Catacomb Command Barge or the Annihilation Barge. And that's how I made the Annihilation Barge. They're both the same to build, but this is the only difference. On an Annihilation Barge you get this, on the Catacomb Command Barge you get an Overlord to sit on top with a little balcony and that sort of stuff. Now, last week for the voting there was 4 models, including this one, and I was so pressed for time over the weekend I never got a chance to start any work on any of it. So last week I painted up the over 3, which was Ultron, what was it? Ultron, the Space Marine Captain Terminator armor, and there was one other, I forget off the top of my head now. But anyway, this guy's the last one to do, so I'm going to do him today. Really first look at this model. There's so many points of interest on this model, it's absolutely insane. The first point of interest is 2 guys either side. They need to really stand out from the rest of the vehicle. Second point of interest is these guns on top. Some absolute crazy stuff on there. Then we've got all of this. It's absolutely insane. And even this piece here, the back, is a point of interest because when you look at the model, that does capture attention, especially if I do that, make that really nice and crazy looking. So the first colour I'm going to start with is some Vulcan green. Now this is the airbrush version, but I'm still gonna, you can use normal version, doesn't matter. I just want it to be very watery because I'm going to pull it into all of the cracks and crevices along here. So I'm going to come in and get it all in here. Now it doesn't matter if I go over the top and get it onto this little bit here, this is going to add to the effect. I want to get all in here. I want to get this lot as well. So all I'm going to do is push over the top, get as much in the little gaps and crevices as I can. You're not going to really notice that too much when that dries, because it's an airbrush paint and because I've watered it down quite a lot. It's just going to flow nicely into those gaps. I might even have to come over and give a second little touch of it once the first one's dry, just to give it a bit more green. I'm also going to get these parts here with the green, okay, and I'm going to try and get their control panel. Now you can see little bits of the green coming through, not too much. It's a very subtle bit of paint I'm putting on there. Now I'm going to come in with some Runelord brass, okay, and this is simply for the 2 guys on there. I don't want to get their shoulder pads because that's going to be with a different colour. So I'm going to get all their body. Their heads. This colour is going to really break them up. I'm going to go off camera and finish him off. So next I'm going to come in with some Euphan Grey. This is a very, very simple bit I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this Euphan Grey and all of these type bits here. I'm going to just get in and get them. And it doesn't matter if I go slightly over, because when we come into the next stage, it's going to just add to the effect. I watered this down a bit too much. Doesn't matter. There's those two. And then there's these two. Right, so I actually chucked some Renard brass on here. It never took on the top ridges, but that's cool because it makes it look a bit better. And I've got the spinal bit at the back. So the guys have their Renard brass slapped on them. They look pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with this polished blue. It's a very old metallic blue. Pop it open so you can see how lovely it is. Yeah, you can get, if you don't have this colour or access to a colour like this, you can paint it with a light silver and then come in with like a blue wash, or say Regal Blue. Is it Regal Blue? Is that still the colour? Or colour? No, sorry, Caledonian Sky, I think it is. And just water that down on your wet palette. Is that the one there? Yeah, there it is. Just water that, say, down on your wet palette and come over the top. Gently give a coating over the metallic and it'll give you the same effect. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to paint their shoulder pads. All of my Necrons have their shoulder pads painted this blue and their carapace and everything else. I'm also going to do this with the blue. Okay, you can see it comes out nice and blue, but as you pull away, it goes very, very silvery. So I'm going to take care of that on these guys. Right, so here we are, looking nice. What I need to do now, I want to break this up a little bit, this gun. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with it, I'm going to come in with some Macragge blue, and I'm going to pick out all of these wires. I don't usually use, apart from metallic blue, I don't usually use normal blues on the Necron's weaponry. It's really going to stand out nice. So I'm going to do that on the other side. There's a little wire under here as well. I'm going to get that. I'm going to look around to see if there's any more wires I can see. Right, so next I'm going to come in with some Striking Scorpion Green contrast paint. What I'm going to do is these balls of energy, I'm going to slap some Striking Scorpions on there. Now what I want to do is cover all of the Euphan Grey that I put on, so even if it went over onto the black undercoat, I still want to get that. nice looking energy bit coming out there. Now some people are going to say, why don't I just do the same thing in here? Because I don't want this bit to look as intense energy as this bit at the back, because this is the engine. I've said Annihilation Barge. So I think the next thing to do is to start bringing some metallics in. Now I know I've done the blue and the Moonlord brass already, but the first one I'm going to start with is some lead belcher. Now this is a difficult thing now because I don't know, I'm just looking and thinking, what am I going to, I missed one of those balls at the front. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to do the same thing as I did with these guys. I do that afterwards. So come in with some lead belcher, just pick out a few bits and pieces that I think should be lead, like silvery colour, namely their bits attaching them in, maybe their spines here, because that just breaks it all up nicely. And as you see, there's different components there. There is a few bits on the gun here, like this little port, so I'm just going to run the silver across to make that really stick out. So you're going to get the end of these guns as well. I'm going to go off camera and have a look around, see if there's anything else that I see that I want to paint silver. So now I'm going to come in with some Retributor armour. Again, I'm just going to be picking out not everything, but just a few bits and pieces here and there that I think would be gold. The first thing, before I forget, is the little symbol on the guy's chests. There's some other little bits and pieces, like I'm going to get this front piece here with the gold. I water that down too much. The flat pieces I'm going to just paint. The rest of it I'm going to drag the brush across, not a dry brush, but sort of to give me those little grooves in between. I do think I've watered that down too much on the wet palette. That's not a big issue because I let it dry and then I let it give it a second coat. Damn it, I didn't do enough to go underneath apart from the wire. Anyway, then I'm just going to come in and just get these little bits like this. Definitely these bits on the back here. I think after that it's just the odd little bit of pieces like this little bit on top here. I might do those little couplings that hold it on there with that. I'm not sure if I should do that or do it with beaten copper. I'm going to go off camera, do anything else that I discover and think I should do with the Retributor armour. So next I'm going to come in with some beaten copper. This is a very old paint, but I'm going to come in and pick out a few bits. You can use any other copper colour you want. I do have Army Painters beaten copper here, but I've only got a little bit left in this one, so I said I'll try and use this one up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and pick out what I think should be beaten copper, which I'm going to do to go with these hinges, these supports on the wing, the dorsal bits. So I'm going to pick, I'm going to get this part of the casing on the gun. And I've watered that down far too much. going to get the little nodes on top. That just breaks everything up nicely. So when you look at it now, you see all these different colours coming together nicely. So I'm going to go off camera and do those. Right, so I think the bit in copper, I'm not too happy. I'm going to let this dry, then give it another one so, but I don't think I watered it too much. What I think is, I think it's had its day. Unfortunately, I might have to throw this away. There's no shake on the bottle at all, because there's that much in the bottom there. You see it's all starting to dry around the edges and everything. I definitely think this had its day, unfortunately. It's a very handy colour to have. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come in with some corn red. Some people go, what? Corn red? Where's this going now? And what I'm going to do with this lovely colour is pick out like the eyeballs. There is also these bits on top I'm going to pick out. Again, that just breaks up the whole gun totally. Looking, making sure there's another little bit there. Still not happy with that being copper. The more I look at it, the more I think I could have done without doing it on there. Maybe gone with silver or gold, I'm not sure, but it's dead now. So I'm going to crack on with it. Don't think there's anything else that I really want to. They do have little targeting sensors on their face. Get a bit more paint. That looks a lot better. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a few minutes and then come back over to beaten copper, because you can see even from this angle, you can see where it's just, I don't think it's where I've watered it down in the wet palette. I just think it's just, it's had its day, where there's no shake in the bowl, because there's very little in there. I think there's only like a little bit down here, so I think that's unfortunate. Right, that seems a bit better now. The beaten copper. They did give it a second thin coat. It does seem a bit better. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some mood green. Now I've gone with the airbrush version, because when I water it down the wet palette more, it's going to turn more into a wash, which I actually want. So what I'm going to do with this lovely colour, we're up at the dark, the Caliban green. I'm going to come in and just wash this in. Okay, so it just gets into all the little cracks and crevices. And you can see how great that looks. Now it is going to dull down as it dries. All I do then is come with a second water down coat. Get all these bits up here as well. So, and then on the gun, do the same thing again. I'm going to do that in the control panels as well, but then I don't want to wash that on. I sort of just want to plop it on, I stipple it on type thing. Right, so here we are. looking kind of crazy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white scars on the wet palette. I'm going to water it down again, really water it down because I want it to wash in as well. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just try and just push it in. It's giving me like a little bit of white coming through there as well. I think the green looks a bit flat. With that bit of white, it's going to really just glow it up a little bit. Don't panic because that will go on bright but dull itself down. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to take a bit of that water down white. I'm just going to try and just work a little bit in the middle there. I think I've ruined that. That's a good save for me, I think. It's not taking up as much. I really was really watered down. There we have it, guys. I think that I'm going to call this done now. Now, some of you noticed I didn't take it to a point where it's battle ready, then go beyond battle ready standard. I don't think this model particularly needs it. I think for me, the more simple this model is done, the more better it looks. Now, I could have come in and painted all these panel pieces a different colour, and you know, same much like with the Triarch Stalker, I don't see the need to do that. You know, I think there's enough bits of metal and bits of metallic paint on here, and I think there's enough green with a little bit of the, you know, white energy coming through and stuff like that. I think the blue ultramarine blue there, ultramarine blue, whichever one it's called now, really breaks the gun up a little bit. I think the guys look fantastic. I think the subtle retributor armor here and there, which I think is only just this piece, I think actually I did in the end. Yeah, just the front piece. I could have done it along here, I suppose, but I think that would take away from either side of that. I think that looks fantastic. trying to get Necron energy weaponry looking great, it's all down to a person's choice, in my opinion. And if you paint Necrons up and you're happy with the colour scheme that you do for, you know, for this sort of stuff, then you just stick to that, because if you're happy with that, in, you know, that works for you, that's the way to do it. I've experimented before with a striking scorpion and doing it this way. You know, it's, I think either way is cool. But I don't know. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because it costs you absolutely nothing. Everyone turn the notifications on so you don't miss anything. Oh, sorry, turn your notifications on. Everyone else smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube, share this video with more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. Any comments or anything about this particular model, this particular painting video, check on below as always guys. Until next time, thank you for watching. Take it easy.